Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmiel Shabbat Shema Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught me this truth, and including the elder bishops on down, and Yahweh Bashmiel Shabbat Rakatham to the overall elect, and it's your brother Laban. Now, I want to just get into this as well. As this reads, almost 200 massacred in Haiti as voodoo practitioners reportedly targeted. Killing overseen by powerful gang leaders convinced his son's illness was caused by followers of the religion. About 200 people were killed in violence in Haiti capital over the weekend, many in massacre in which a gang boss reportedly targeted voodoo practitioners. Killings of at least 110 people were overseen by a powerful gang leader convinced that his son's illness was caused by followers of the religion. According to the civil organization, the Committee for Peace and Development, CPT. Yeah, man, for the longest time, Levi's been known, for their voodoo and various forms of witchcraft, as well as the people of the Dominican islands as well, right? Which is to say they're on the same island anyway. It's just one part is called, Saint Dominican Republic, which is called the Dominican Republic, and the other side is Haiti, right? Which goes into the book of Genesis 49, right? That they were brothers. And what else does it say? Let me go and find that precept. That really should have been the first precept that I should have had on deck, really. So let's go into that real quick. Genesis 49. Genesis 49. And let's go down. Yeah, Simeon and Levi. There we are. Simeon and Levi. Genesis 49 and verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations, which, to qualify this, the cruelty that they carried on with was doing something to those Canaanites, because, Israel was at war at the time. Let me see if I can find that story, man. Let me go and read that real quick to get into it, because I haven't read it in a long time, so I want to butcher it if I speak on it on the whim. So let me do this instead. So here's the story over here. So in other words, the cruelty was that they killed Hamor and Shechem because one of them wanted Dinah for his wife, right? Which they were two Canaanites anyway. So what happened was Simeon and Levi found out that she was dealing with one of the men, and so they put them to death. Basically, they put them to death, and that was the cruelty. So that's just to qualify that. But also figuratively, the instruments of cruelty is the witchcraft that they're known for. Like in among the Dominicans, they get into that witchcraft heavy as well. I think it's called Blue Haria. They get into, and there's other forms of witchcraft they get into. Just like Levi, right? They get into voodoo and the various kinds of witchcraft they get into. And I mean, hey man, when you actually get into that witchcraft that they be getting into, right? If you watch certain videos, it's actually real, man. I saw one video of a madman. They turned this man into an oxen. Like his body, his body was normal, but his feet was like an oxen. That shit was crazy, man. So that shit is real. They be doing over there. And that's why them Levites be catching mad help. They're the poorest people in the Western Hemisphere. And yes, that's all to do with the fact that they've conquered the French at the time. But most of it is to do with the fact that they're heavily deuced into that witchcraft, man. All right? And it's just a lot of chaos that's going on. I mean, it has to be, because if you got among them Levites that's doing this stuff, man, it would definitely have to be the case, because there's a law. Let me see if I can go and get that as well. There's a law in witchcraft, that we all quote from time to time. So let's get into it. This is Exodus 22 and verse 18. Very simple. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. And so you would put these people to death according to, biblical law, especially at the time, when we had those laws, statutes, and commandments in effect when we could, because we were sovereigns. All right. And also, let me go and read this as well. Leviticus 20 and verse 6. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and I will cut him off from among his people. From among his people, right? And the way that you would set your face against that soul is put them to death, according to this law over here. All right. If we were in biblical times, this would be in activation. But you see, we don't live in biblical times, and we got a lot of people in this world that's have been moving to the left hand side of things. And now you got these spirits floating around the place, messing with people while they're sleeping. And that's why you catch sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is not where it's nothing to do with your body. It's to do with outside entities that are having an effect on you, because they're really just plain old spirits. So all of this can have an effect on the people. When you're getting into dark arts and trying to conjure up spells and bringing spirits back from the dead, that's filthy. All right, that defiles a nation. So that's why all of this will be taken care of in a way of putting that soul to rest where he belongs. Okay. And also you got to include too that even these demons, they jump on people. Let's just say you have a young boy or a young daughter, right? You got kids, and all of a sudden your kids is just acting weird. Like you don't know why your kids is acting crazy out of nowhere. And this happens to people, man. Like you could be walking down the street and someone could just be calm all of a sudden, but then they just start acting crazy. Or it could be even people among your family members. All right. So all of this stuff destroys the people. When you got spirits floating around, jumping on people, that has an effect on the nation. So that's definitely a sin unto death right there. All right. That's what happens when you allow all of this to go on. And this is why we see it in this society. That's why I can say what I'm saying, because we're actually experiencing why this has to be put out. Okay. We're experiencing a world where wickedness is just free to be expressed. So that's why you have these laws, because without these laws, as we're experiencing right now, all of this shit can fester and it destroys people. All right. That's why you have a thing where people get attacked by demons. You have a thing such as being demonically possessed, because you got people in places that's doing witchcraft, bringing them spirits from the dead, and it's just fucking shit up. Messing with people's lives. All right. So yeah, that's all I got to say with this, man. I'm gonna close this out as well. With that, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bash Miao Shai Bash Shemar Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops on down that have taught us this truth as well. So with that, I'm out. Shalom.